Oftentimes, when we find out a coworker is part of the LGBTQ+ community, we want to show our support but don't know the best way to do so. What are some potentially well-being things that shouldn't be done in the workplace when it comes to LGBTQ+ coworkers? First, don't ask a bunch of questions. Many questions are well-meaning but can be hurtful, making people feel uncomfortable, and they often require a significant amount of emotional energy for the person being asked. There are also many instances where the workplace is not an appropriate setting for these questions. Second, don't out someone at work. Just because they have told you how they identify doesn't mean they are out to everyone in the workplace. They likely came out to you because they trust you, so maintain that trust. Third, don't play matchmaker. When well-meaning straight people try to set someone up, it's typically simply based on the fact that they happen to know someone else is gay, or however they identify. This not only ignores the many other factors that go into dating, but in most cases makes people uncomfortable. So what are some other things we need to be aware of that we shouldn't do? Know that trans people are not required to disclose information about their identities with us when asked. And even more importantly, they are not required to do the labor of educating us on the shortcomings of our understanding of gender. Depending on our relationship with them, it can feel tokenizing and exhausting to trans people to constantly have to answer questions about their gender identity. Don't ask them to speak on behalf of the entire community, because every voice in the trans community represents an entirely different experience from the next. If we accidentally find ourselves misgendering someone, never make it about you. It's okay to make mistakes, but make sure to immediately recognize and acknowledge that you use the wrong pronoun, for example. Otherwise, other people involved in that conversation might think that they can also use the wrong pronouns for that person. Don't get upset with ourselves or overly apologetic. The most respectful thing we can do in that situation is to acknowledge our mistake, fix it, and carry on. And if we see someone else misgender a person, don't stand idly by. Politely correct them and move on. And finally, never argue with someone about the grammatical use of the singular they pronoun. It is grammatically correct, and we are required to learn how to use it appropriately.